It was all a moment of excitement and joy for families of Nana Kweku Nkrabea and Tyran Magai as Justice Gifty Ejay Ado of the Human Rights Court 1 ruled that management of Achimota Senior High School should admit the two brilliant Rastafarian students into the school, as that forms part of their right to education as well as right to religion.
High Court Human Rights Court 1 judge has just in a moment catapulted herself. Human rights are human rights. And they are found everywhere, in our schools, in our homes, in our workplace. And until concerted efforts is made by citizens who agree and understand to protect such human rights, we will struggle out there and never achieve it. That is what exactly her ladyship has done. She has made it very simple that human rights are human rights. And until there's a compelling reason, yes, we agree that human rights can be limited. As we say, rights are not absolute. But there should be a justifiable reason to limit fundamental human rights.
What it means for me is that as an African, you must stand up and fight for your right, just like Peter Tosh said. Get up, stand up for your rights. When there's any wrongs in society, we should not bury it under the carpet. We should bring it out and confront it and address it, right? In the beginning, they were saying that we shouldn't have taken it to the court, but from beginning, I recognized that I was doing the right thing by taking it to the court, because it gives us the necessary exposure for the public to see exactly what is going on.
However, management of the school at the court premises did not grant the media any interview for reasons best known to them. So today, TV Africa visited the school to interact with management on the way forward with regards to the new order from the court. But security officials at post denied the news team the opportunity to enter the school premises from the entrance. One official who gave his name as Isaac said the management has given a strong directive that no media person should be allowed into the school, as this forms part of protecting the lives of their students.
Following the final verdict by Justice Gifty Ejay Ado yesterday between the case of Achimota and the two Rastafarian, TV Africa has taken it upon itself to come to management of the institution or the educational facility. But then upon our arrival here, there is heavy security presence, and therefore we are not allowed to even enter inside to get to have interaction with management. According to the security officials at post, they say that a directive from management indicate that no media person should be allowed to enter into the school premises to have an interaction with management of the school. So that has been the situation, but we're still monitoring situation on the ground as we will be bringing you up to speed what exactly is happening regarding the arrival of the two Rastafarian students on campus, as this has been their heart's desire or their dream school to always be in Achimota Senior High School. Reporting for TV Africa News, my name is Christopher Atitso.
News just reaching us indicates that the leadership, rather let me say that the governing board of Achimota School is, as it were, readying itself to file an appeal against a court ruling that was given yesterday with respect to the admission of two Rastafarian students. My colleague, Christopher Atitso, has been following that particular story and has joined me in the studio for us to have a conversation in that particular respect. Now, Christopher, you were in court yesterday. First of all, bring us up to speed with the ruling and all the surrounding developments in that particular regard.
Right, and so yesterday, the Rastafarian Council of Ghana showed their solidarity and their support to their fellow Rastafarian who happen to be students in this particular category, that they feel their basic human rights, particularly right to religion and right to education, ought not to be infringed upon. And so when the issue happened first in March, when they actually got admission into Achimota Senior High School, following the brouhaha that happened, that management of Achimota Senior High School refused them admission because of their religious beliefs and practice by having the dreadlocks on. They filed a court appeal, and then yesterday was the final verdict, and then the judge who sat on the matter, in the person of Justice Gifty Ejay Ado, was very clear that you cannot infringe on anybody's that you cannot infringe on anybody's rights, particularly right to religion and education, in the sense that Achimota Senior High School must admit these students, and that was the ruling at court. And right after the ruling, the Rastafarians were so jubilant, they were so excited for the fact that they deemed that they have indeed fought a good fight, that their voices have eventually been heard.
But it appears that their excitement in the recent events, I mean, in the following recent developments, would be short-lived because management of the school, as of now, wants to file an appeal to contest that particular verdict. Now, initially, I'm aware that you were at the school premises today. What really did you want to go and do?
And so yesterday, both parties were at court. They responded together with the defendant, that's Achimota Senior High School being the defendant, and then the student being the petitioners. So both of them were there, but unfortunately Achimota Senior High School management or representatives did not grant the media any interview. And then
after the proceedings yesterday.
After the proceedings yesterday. And so here at TV Africa, we thought it wise that indeed, I mean, as responsible journalism, we ought to hear both sides of the story. So we went to Achimota Senior High School today in a quest to actually hear from management of the school that indeed yesterday you were at court. This is the ruling of the court. You have your various bylines that you firmly stand by. What are you going to do about it? Among other stories or issues that we actually wanted to inquire from management of Achimota Senior High School. But unfortunately, when we got there, security officials at post made us to understand that there has been a heavy directive from management of the school that no media person should be allowed into the school. And then they even cited other media houses that have come around to actually follow up a similar story, but they were denied access. And so in the story that we have filed, we get to see Maven interacting with the security person on, at post, who gave his name as one, Mr. Isaac. Yes, Isaac.
Apart from communicating the directive to you, did he spell out the particular rationale behind that very directive?
In a way, he says that
why the school would not want to engage the press following the ruling.
One thing that he said that I think at least was logical was the fact that this is a means of protecting students' life. They deem it that based on the public outcry or what has really happened yesterday, a lot of eyes would definitely be tilted towards the school. And so in a quest of protecting the student, but even whosoever, even private cars that are even coming into the school, heavy security personnel, so not necessarily from
when you go to the premises as a journalist, I mean, if there is any item at all you would carry on you, that would obviously be a pen. I mean, how would that pose a threat to the students in any way?
So definitely this comes to the fact that management are not ready to speak to the media on this particular issue, because as when it happened through to March till date, they've just been communicating via their various press releases as that they have done today. Since yesterday till today, ever since the verdict was pronounced, tonight was just about 5 minutes coming on air was when they actually released the press. So you get to clearly see that they don't actually want to maybe reach out to the entire populace from their perspective. But at least as journalists as we are, we'll definitely be keeping up our eyes on this particular development, because I assure there are people that will definitely be keeping up an eye.
Now that the school has filed an appeal, or the management of the school, I should say, has directed lawyers of the school to, as it were, file an appeal to contest the verdict. Do you get the sense that this particular issue may travel longer than it has already lasted on the train of public discourse?
Well, I clearly feel so, and then I think, or I perceive, or I predict that the end result could be that the school could only come out clear that we don't want these students in our school. And that is the only thing that they can actually come out with. And then when they do that, it means that they've actually gone against that of the computerized system, school placement system, because that was the same system that actually, based on the student's performance, academic performance and intelligence, the school placed them there. So it means that you are denying these students their ultimate right to education, particularly in that particular institution, as they are so wish.
Right, Christopher, thank you very much for joining us on News Hour tonight.
Thank you very much.
We are hoping that as the issues unfold, you'll be bringing us up to speed with all the relevant details. Thank you.
Thank you very much for hosting me too.
Right. So that was my colleague Christopher Atitso, who's been following that particular development. We're taking a breather here. The news continues shortly.